Iren was up huge today, being up 29.71% coming in the day after their earnings report yesterday. We're going to dig into that. We're going to talk about Bit Digital as well. That had a pretty big day. There were some others that had a big day as well that I will note, but I'm not going to go into them too deeply. We're also going to talk about Bitcoin because it did something special yesterday. We're going to talk about that. And Ethereum currently, at the very moment now, is doing something special that we're going to talk about those things right now. We're also going to dabble in a little bit of MicroStrategy and Coinbase here near the end, so stick around for all of that. Let's get into it. So Iren was up 29.71% today. At one point, it was up nearly 32%. That is very exciting as an Iren holder. Hopefully, you're excited as well. Now, most of this is absolutely off of the earnings report. Iren, basically, anytime news comes out about Iren, as long as it's positive news, that you see a pretty significant boost. And this was no different than any other time we've got good news for Iren. Now, I tried to go to their website for their Q3, or I guess it's the, financial year 2025 Q1 report, actually. Yeah, but their website isn't working, so I have to get it from a third party. Stock Titan is where I'm grabbing that information here. So let's talk a little bit about their earnings report and why it was just so good. Now, they did miss on revenue, okay? They missed on revenue. And they missed on earnings per share, but they beat slightly on revenue. That's what's true. Okay. Anyways, they energized. All right, they're at 21 exahash currently, I believe. Look here, yep, 21 exahash installed. They're on track to have 31 exahash by the end of December, and they are increasing to 50 exahash in the first half of 2025 instead of the second half. That is a huge difference in what the previous plan was, and moving the timeline way forward for Iren there. So that was a huge piece of news for Iren. The other thing, okay, there's actually two other things. Okay, let me go up here. Where is it at? Right here. They have a low-cost Bitcoin mining operation. They are mining Bitcoin at about $29,000 all-in cash cost for Bitcoin. So basically, their full cost for a Bitcoin is $29,000. Bitcoin is trading at currently $96,000. That is a huge upside for Iren. This is why I forgive the fact that they don't have a hodl of Bitcoin, because they are just mining it so effectively, so efficiently, that on each coin they're basically printing $64,000-ish for every single one. That was huge. That was hit number 2. That was absolutely massive for Iren yesterday in their earnings report. The other thing, the third thing here is this. They're going to start focusing on alternative funding instruments. What does that mean? Think MicroStrategy, think MetaPlanet, think Mara. All those companies are doing what? They are issuing convertible bonds at 0%. So basically free debt for the company in exchange for cash, obviously, that they will be able to convert to shares later on. So it could be potentially future dilution maybe, but at the moment it is a huge cash printing method. It is the MicroStrategy method of free money, basically, to buy Bitcoin and grow their business that way. So I don't know what they're going to do with it necessarily. If they haven't mentioned that they're going to buy Bitcoin, they're still a no-hodl Bitcoin miner, but just the fact that they're talking about alternative funding instruments starts getting the gears whirling in there, saying, are they going to do the same method that has been so profitable for so many other companies? Are they going to start doing that? Because it sounds like they might start doing that. So those three things are huge for Iren. They're going to start looking at alternative funding instruments. They're going to get 50 exahash in the first half of 2025 instead of the second half. They are mining Bitcoin at a cost of $29,000 when Bitcoin is trading at over $96,000. So those things, the three things are huge. They also get the benefit of the AI side of the business. So they currently they're working on their AI cloud services. They've got 1,896 NVIDIA H100s and H200s. They'll probably get their hands on some Blackwells as well here going forward. Oh, they also have zero debt and a cash pile of about 180 some odd $million. So Iren had an absolutely stellar report in terms of the underlying business and how they are doing as a business, even though, if we come over here, even though they did miss on their earnings per share and their beat of revenue was only slight. Everything else, though, was stellar in terms of the guidance and their reports of what they're doing in their actual operations. So that's why Iren today had a 30% pop, and it is still going. No, it's going down in post. It's going down in post a little bit, which is to be expected. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave back 10% of this tomorrow. Don't be surprised if that happens. I would not have bought this candle, but I am very happy to have seen it. And I wouldn't be surprised if over the course of the next 2-3 trading days, we see the 10%-ish dip from this massive candle here as it digests this event. The other thing was Bit Digital is up 18% today. Now, Bit Digital is doing something interesting. It's making a bit of a megaphone here. Now, if let me go here, right there, go like that, and then we do this one here and like that. It's doing a megaphone. Now, we've seen a megaphone pattern on Bit Digital in the past. Okay, this is not a new pattern for Bit Digital. It's done it several times, actually. And we've talked about it here on the channel. If you go back way back to price action, that doesn't matter anymore. I've covered megaphones on this particular ticker a couple of times. Now, this time right now, we could go, just to get to the top of this, we could go all the way back up to next trading day. We could go as high as 489 before we touch this thing. And we could go as low as 355, touching it to the other side on the megaphone. So this thing is doing a megaphone, but I do think it is leaning upward. And the reason I'm thinking that it is leaning upward is because of Ethereum. Now, when this thing takes off and it breaks out of here, we're going back for the high. The high is currently up there at 575. I wouldn't be surprised to see it take that out and come up and hit this line up here in the 6s, okay? Bit Digital, I would not be surprised at all if Bit Digital hits the 6s and does it soon, okay? And the reason I think that is if we come down here to Ethereum, Ethereum had a 9% breakout today. It touched 10% briefly, but we're at $3,600 right now. Look at this big candle right here. Look at what the last few times it does big candles, right? Big candle followed by another big candle. Over here, big candle followed by a flag, followed by another big candle. We're either getting another big candle tomorrow or we're going to get a flag followed by what? Probably another big candle. And why are we going to do that here, you ask? Let's go zoom out a little bit. Okay, so we have this little triangle here that I drew, broke out of that, did a bull flag, broke up a little bit, did another bull flag, went a little higher. We are currently on this trend line. You see this trend line here from April 2024 where we made a peak up here at like $4,000. All right, well, where are we trading in relation to that right now? Well, we're trading above it, okay? We're trading above it, all right? We're trading above it right now. As long as we close this candle above this and open another one up here as well, this is likely gonna go back up to testing the high 3,000s, potentially even $4,000. If we eclipse $4,097, guess where we're going next? All the way to the all-time high, which is at 4,900. We're going to probably eclipse $5,000 at that point. The other thing that's very interesting, if we go to the weekly on Ethereum, let's go to the weekly on Ethereum. What do we see here? We're seeing something of a cup and handle right there. Cup, handle, launch. Let's do a measurement tool to see if that's it. This is the very bottom of the cup. That's the brim there. Oops, that's not what I want to do. This is the very bottom of the cup. There's the brim there, about right there. Look what we did. We came down perfectly to the midpoint of the cup, which is about as low as you want a handle to go before it invalidates the pattern. And what did it do from there? It bounced. It bounced pretty significantly. Now let's go and see where this could go. Where would this go if it fulfilled it? So there's the brim about right there. We're looking at over $6,000 if we fulfill this cup and handle pattern. And this trend line that I showed you earlier here, that is the top of the handle. We break that trend line, we are breaking out on this cup and handle. So that's very exciting for Ethereum. Let's do one more thing here on this Ethereum chart just to get interesting. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go from this swing low and I'm going to get a fib, right? I'm getting a fib retracement going from the swing low here. I want to see where this falls in relation to this fib retracement. Let's draw this up here, go up to there. Oh, look at that. So we came down we hit the 618 and we wicked down. I mean, we stayed under it for a little bit, but we wicked down. We almost touched the 786. That is your institutional buy zone just above it, and I bet you they pulled the trigger early when they saw Bitcoin running up for $100,000. So Ethereum came down to that institutional buy zone on the fib levels on this move, and if we take out $4,000, let's take a look here. If we take out $4,000, the next step, well, 4,100. If we take that out, next step is 5,090. Step after that, 5,700. Step after that, 8,284. We'll see if that happens or not. My money's on about, you know, mid to high $5,000 at least out of this particular move right now. We could see it go even higher than that though. And then when it does that, you better believe Bit Digital today, off of a 9-10% move on Ethereum, it moved 18%. So almost double. How much of a move do we have here? From here all the way up to, let's just say, to this first line here. That's 38%. So we could potentially see up to an 80% move in Bit Digital based off of that Ethereum move, if that's what it is indeed tracking. So keep your eyes on Bit Digital and Ethereum. Bitcoin. So we're going to go to Bitcoin now. We're going to get interesting here on Bitcoin. Let's take a look here. So you remember when Bitcoin was trading up towards $100,000, around that $99,000 mark, I drew this box. Okay. Oh, it almost touched it to perfection. And I said, once we come up here, and if we fail at $100,000, we're likely going to give back about 10%. We're likely going to come down to that $90,000 level. We got really close. So we were at 99.8, I believe, 99.8, and we came down to $90,783. So almost 98. 90,800 is where we got real close to tapping that area. We got so close to $90,000. That was, what kind of a percent drop is that now? I was looking for about a 10. I think we got like a 9, right? Yeah, there's a little over a 9% drop from top to bottom here from that previous Bitcoin move, which is basically exactly what I expected. And what happened after exactly what I expected? We bounced hard. And I'm very much liking this right now. The fact that we did not give up this trend line, huge deal. I'm right now, and this is also a morning star. These three candles right here, we got a big engulfing red, followed by a doji, followed by an engulfing green that went up more than halfway up the engulfing red. That is a morning star pattern. This is a bullish pattern. Let's see if it's going to continue to play out tomorrow. I'd like to see a candle that has a body that forms around 96,000 and moves up to at least 98,000 tomorrow to feel very bullish about this move. The other thing I've got going on here that you probably noticed on this blue thing here is I took this from 2017. So this is the 2017 cycle that I got here. This light blue, that is the 2017 cycle. Look how it's lining up. Look how it's lining up. Almost perfectly. And this would have us coming all the way back down to $70,000, which is possible. In theory, that would only be a 30% dip before we ripped higher. But look where it's going. This is just this 2017 cycle pulled out to be the same like scale size as the current dollar values. And that has us going all the way up to $155,000. Can you imagine where Iren's going to be trading if they are producing Bitcoin for $29,000, where Mara is going to be trading if they're holding over 30,000 Bitcoin, where CleanSpark is going to be trading if they're holding over 10,000, or yeah, they're getting close to that. If they're holding over 10,000 Bitcoin, they currently aren't, but if they were, if they get there, because I think they will get there, and are mining with 50 exahash, all three of those miners, where they're going to be trading if this thing hits $155,000. Can you imagine where MicroStrategy is going to be trading if Bitcoin hits $155,000, considering it hit well over $500? We'll go up here. We're considering it hit as high as the 540s, just getting close to $100,000. So I think we're in the right place. Here's what I'm trying to say. MicroStrategy, I'm actually watching this close right now. I did overmanage the thing yesterday, and that's not good. I didn't technically lose any money, but I'm not having a good time with it. We'll talk about that another time. Overmanaged. Don't manage things. Stop overmanaging things. Why? Why do we do these things? It doesn't matter. But yeah, we're seeing MicroStrategy came to that 786 level from this move, and it is bouncing off of it, and that is exceptional. We see this thing cross back above 458. You better believe we're going for that high. The other thing I want to look at is coin. How's coin doing? So I'm also in some coin play. I'm actually in CONL, which is the 2x version of coin. That is the one that I like to trade, but of course I need to look at coin for that. Coin is forming something of, okay, so this could be two things. This could be a bull flag, right? This could be a bull flag. Well, it could be three things. It could be a bull flag, it could be a bullish triangle, or it can be, if we get a gap down, it is an island top. So pick what you think it might be. Where are my other? There they are. And now some things that I see that make me say this is probably going to be more interesting. Sorry, this is my dog. She's tippy tapping around on the hard floor. That I see here is that the momentum here, the fast is coming down like this. This looks like a bull flag to me in terms of how the fast is moving. Okay, that's looking like a bull flag to me. Something like back here, right, where it kind of came down and went higher. The problem is that the slow is also purple. So I'd like to see the slow turn green again. That slow turns green again, I'm going to call it a bull flag, and I'm going to say this thing's going higher. But right now on coin, if it goes over 335, we're looking at running for the previous peak up here at about 368, 370, okay? If we lose 284.75, this thing's going to come back down to the base of support, probably somewhere in the 220s. So be a little careful with coin right now. I do see potential for it to go either way, whereas with MicroStrategy, it looks more like a clear upward move, whereas Coinbase is kind of consolidating a bit and trying to decide, do I go higher? Do I come lower? Do I track Bitcoin? Do I do my own thing? It's kind of being a little more indecisive about what it wants to do. So be a little more careful, I'd say, with coin and scrutinize the chart a little more closely than with MicroStrategy right now. MicroStrategy seems to be like, I'm going up, can't stop me. Whereas coin is kind of like, I'm thinking about it. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Please do your own due diligence, research these assets thoroughly before committing any funds to anything, of course. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio. Check out the sticker shop. That link is also in the description and channel bio, and have a profitable day.